Right now, millions of cells are working inside me, and I cannot see them. Good morning. My name is Alex, and this is my small podcast for people who learn English. Today, I woke up at 7 a.m., and the first thing I thought was not about coffee, not about work, but about my body. I opened my eyes and looked at the ceiling. I asked myself, what is happening inside me right now? My heart was beating, my lungs were moving, my brain was already active. But how? I went to the kitchen and started to make coffee. The water was boiling, the room was quiet. It was a normal morning, but inside me, it was not quiet at all. Inside me there was a world, a busy world. That world is made of cells. So, what is a cell? A cell is a very small part of your body. It is so small that you cannot see it without a microscope. But cells are very important. Your body has trillions of cells. Yes, trillions. That is a very big number. Cells build everything in your body. Your skin, your muscles, your blood, everything is made of cells. For example, when you cut your finger, your body can fix it. Why? Because cells work together. Some cells repair the skin. Some cells protect you from bacteria. Some cells bring oxygen. It is like a big city. In a city, there are workers, doctors, police officers, drivers. In your body, cells have different jobs too. Some cells carry oxygen. These are blood cells. Some cells help you move. These are muscle cells. Some cells help you think. These are nerve cells. I took my cup of coffee and sat near the window. The sun was coming up. The world outside was waking up. And inside me, trillions of tiny workers were already busy. Why do I love biology? Because biology helps us understand life. It helps us understand ourselves. We do not need magic to explain life. We need science. And today, I want to understand more. My friend Emma studies biology at university. She knows many interesting facts. Maybe I should call her. Maybe today we can talk about what lives not only inside us, but also around us. Because cells are not the only small things in our world. There is something even smaller. Tomorrow morning, I will meet Emma in the park. The next morning, I met Emma in the park near my house. The air was fresh and the grass was still wet. People were walking their dogs. Some were running. It was calm and quiet. Emma smiled when she saw me. "Good morning, Alex. Are you ready for your biology podcast?" she asked. "I think so," I said. "Yesterday we talked about cells, but today I want to talk about something smaller, something that is everywhere." Emma laughed. "Ah, you mean bacteria?" "Yes, bacteria. Many people think bacteria are bad. When we hear the word bacteria, we think about illness. We think about dirty hands. We think about hospitals. But the truth is more interesting. Bacteria are very small living organisms, Emma explained. They are much smaller than our cells. We cannot see them without a microscope. We started walking slowly on the path. "Are bacteria always dangerous?" I asked. "No," Emma said. "Some bacteria can make us sick, but many bacteria are good for us." Good bacteria? Yes. Inside your body, especially in your stomach and intestines, there are billions of bacteria. This is called the microbiome. The microbiome is like a small ecosystem inside you. These bacteria help you digest food. They help your immune system. They even help protect you from bad bacteria. "That means I have bacteria inside me right now?" I asked. Emma smiled. "Yes, and that is normal. Every healthy person has them." I looked at my hands. "And what about here?" I asked. "There are bacteria on your hands, on your phone, on your clothes, in the air," Emma said. "They are everywhere." That sounded a little scary. "But don't worry," she added. "Most of them are not dangerous. We only need to wash our hands and keep good hygiene." We sat down on a bench. I looked at the trees around us. "So, the world is full of invisible life," I said slowly. "Yes," Emma answered. "Life is not only what we can see. There is a small world around us all the time." I thought about yesterday morning, about my cells, about the busy city inside my body. And now I understood something new. Inside me, there are human cells, but also bacteria. Life inside life. Emma, I said, if bacteria can live inside us and cells work together, what about the brain? How does it control everything? Emma looked at me with interest. That, she said, is a very good question. Tomorrow, we will talk about the brain and about how you are listening to this podcast right now. The next day, Emma and I met again in the park. This time, we brought tea and sat on the same wooden bench. The sun was warm, and I could hear birds in the trees. Today, I said into my recorder, we will talk about the most mysterious organ in the human body, the brain. Emma smiled. It is mysterious, yes, but it is also very logical. I touched my head. Right now, my brain is working, but I cannot feel it. That is because the brain has no pain receptors, Emma explained. You cannot feel your brain itself, but it controls everything. Everything. Your thoughts, your memory, your movements, your emotions. How does it work? I asked. The brain is made of special cells called neurons, Emma said. Neurons send signals. These signals are electrical and chemical. Electrical signals in my head? That sounded surprising. Yes, she continued. Neurons talk to each other. They send messages very fast. That is how you can think, speak, and understand words. I looked at my recorder. So when someone listens to this podcast and learns English, what is happening? Emma seemed happy with the question. When you learn a new word, she said, your neurons create new connections. The more you practice, the stronger the connection becomes. So learning changes the brain? I asked. Yes, she answered. The brain can change during your whole life. This ability is called plasticity. Plasticity means the brain is flexible. It can grow and improve. That made me feel hopeful. If someone thinks, I cannot learn English, I said slowly, that is not true? Emma shook her head. No. The brain learns with repetition and practice, step by step. I closed my eyes for a moment. Right now, inside my head, billions of neurons were sending signals. Some helped me speak. Some helped me remember facts about cells and bacteria. Some helped me understand Emma. It was like another big city. Cells, bacteria, neurons. The human body was more complex than I imagined. I opened my eyes. Emma, I said, if the brain uses energy to think, where does that energy come from? She looked at me and smiled again. That, she said, is our topic for tomorrow. Tomorrow we will talk about energy and about how your body turns food into life. The next afternoon, I felt hungry before meeting Emma. My stomach made a small sound, and I smiled. Perfect timing, I said into my recorder. Today we will talk about energy. Emma arrived with a small sandwich and an apple. Biology is easier when you have food, she joked. We sat on the bench again. When I feel hungry, I began, what is happening inside my body? Your body needs energy, Emma explained. Every cell in your body needs energy to work. Energy for the heart, energy for the brain, energy for muscles, energy even for breathing. When you eat food, she continued, your body breaks it down into smaller parts. One important molecule is glucose. Glucose is a type of sugar. Cells use glucose to produce energy. Inside each cell, there are small parts called mitochondria. Emma explained it in simple words. Mitochondria are like power stations, she said. They take glucose and oxygen and they produce energy. So when I eat an apple, my body turns it into energy. That means, I said slowly, food becomes movement, thinking, life. Yes, Emma nodded. Without energy, cells cannot work. I took a bite of the apple and thought about how something so simple could give power to trillions of cells. Then I asked another question. Emma, are humans very different from animals? She thought for a moment. We are different in some ways, she said, but biologically we are very similar to other animals. Similar? Yes, she continued. Humans and animals have cells. They use energy in the same way. Many of our genes are similar. This is because of evolution. Evolution means that living organisms change slowly over many generations. Small changes happen. The organisms that survive pass their genes to the next generation. Over millions of years, Emma said, life changed and developed. That is why humans and animals share common ancestors. Common ancestors. That means long ago, living organisms were much simpler. From simple cells to complex bodies to the human brain that can create a podcast. That idea felt powerful. Life is not random magic. It is a long scientific story. I finished my apple. Cells use energy. Mitochondria work like power stations. Evolution connects all living beings. As the sun started to go down, I felt that our small podcast was also growing. Tomorrow evening, I will sit at home and think about everything we learned, and maybe I will understand life a little better. That evening, I returned home, but my mind was still busy. Cells, bacteria, neurons, energy, evolution. It felt like I opened a door to a new way of thinking. I sat at my desk and turned on the small lamp. Outside, it was already dark. I decided to record another episode. Today, I said softly, I want to talk about something invisible but very important. DNA. Earlier that day, I sent Emma a message. Can you explain DNA in simple words? I asked her. She called me instead. DNA is like an instruction book, she said. It tells your cells what to do. Instruction book? Yes. Inside almost every cell there is DNA. It contains information. This information decides your eye color, your hair color, and many other things. I imagined a tiny book inside every cell. So DNA is inside the nucleus? I asked. I remembered this word from school. Yes, Emma answered. The nucleus is like the control center of the cell. DNA is stored there. DNA is made of genes. Genes are small parts of DNA. Each gene has a special instruction. For example, one gene can control eye color. Another gene can help build proteins. Proteins are very important molecules in the body. They build structures and help chemical reactions happen. So, I said slowly, DNA tells the cell how to make proteins, and proteins help the body work. Exactly, Emma replied. Everything suddenly felt connected. DNA gives instructions. Cells follow instructions. Mitochondria produce energy. Neurons send signals. It is like a huge orchestra. Every part has a role. When all parts work together, the body functions well. I looked at my hands again. Inside these hands is DNA that connects me to my parents, and to their parents, and even further back in time. DNA is also proof of evolution. Similar species have similar DNA. Life has a memory, and that memory is written in molecules. I turned off the recorder for a moment and sat in silence. If DNA is the language of life, then biology is the way we learn to read it. Tomorrow, I want to record one final episode, not about one small part, but about the whole picture, about what it means to be alive. This morning feels different. I wake up again at 7 a.m., just like in the first episode. The light comes through the window. The city is quiet. But now, I do not feel the same. On my first morning, I asked one simple question. What is happening inside me right now? Today, I think I know the answer. Inside me, trillions of cells are working together. Inside those cells, mitochondria are producing energy. Inside the nucleus, DNA is giving instructions. Inside my brain, neurons are sending signals. Inside my body, good bacteria are helping me live. It is not chaos. It is a system. I go to the kitchen and make coffee again. The water boils, just like before. But now I see everything differently. When I lift the cup, my muscles work. When I smell the coffee, neurons send signals to my brain. When I think about this podcast, connections in my brain become stronger. Biology is not only about facts, it is about understanding yourself. Later, I meet Emma one last time in the park. "So," she asks, "what did you learn?" I smile. "I learned that life is complex," I say, "but it is also logical. Every small part has a role." Emma nods. "And I learned," I continue, "that we are not separate from nature. We share energy systems with animals. We share genes with other living organisms. We are part of the same long story. The story of evolution, the story of cells becoming complex organisms, the story of life learning to think." We sit quietly for a moment, then I turn on my recorder one last time. "If you are learning English," I say slowly and clearly, "remember this. Your brain is changing right now. Your neurons are building new connections. Step by step, you are improving. Learning is biological. Growth is biological. Change is biological." I look at the trees around us. They also have cells. They also use energy. They also have DNA. Life is everywhere. Not magic. Not mystery without explanation, but science, and that makes it even more beautiful. Thank you for listening to this small journey into biology. Next time you wake up, ask yourself, what is happening inside me right now? And remember, you are a living system.